Did you know Michael Jackson spoke openly about being harshly disciplined by his father while growing up?
How often would he beat you?
Too much.
Would he only use a belt?
Believe it or not, Michael Jackson almost never became the lead singer. His father had other plans, but after his mother overheard him singing, she was so impressed that she pushed for Michael to take center stage, a decision that would change music history forever.
And she said to my father that I could sing, and he didn't want to hear of it. You know, he said that Jermaine's the lead singer, not Michael. My mother said, Joe, you really should hear him sing. He can sing. He goes, no, Jermaine's the lead singer of the group, and that's it. She forced him to listen to me, and once he listened to me, from that moment on, I was the lead singer of the group.
Ever since that moment, the stage became the only place Michael Jackson truly felt at home. While the world saw pressure, crowds, and chaos, he saw control, comfort, and escape. It was the one space where everything finally made sense for him.
For me was home. I was most comfortable, and still most comfortable, on stage. But once I got off stage, I was like very sad.
Really?
Yes.
And sad from the beginning? Sad since it first started? Since
Lonely, sad, having to face with popularity and all of that.
What school?
Since he was a boy, you can see the gentleness he always carried. In this clip, a reporter puts Michael Jackson on the spot by asking about school, and instead of getting defensive, Michael calmly and graciously answers with that soft, polite energy he was known for.
What school do you go to? Do you go to a school?
Yeah, I go to private school in the Valley.
Do the kids stare at you because you're so rich and famous? Do they? Do they stare at you? Not because of it.
It's kind of a school like the kids are already in the business.
There are other singers, dancers, and aerialists, and jugglers, and tumblers, and so on.
Michael Jackson did speak positively about his father at times and acknowledged the role he played in his life and career, showing a complex relationship shaped by both discipline and appreciation.
Wealthy, but we weren't poor. My father always prepared for the family, as well as my mother. Always wonderful. And that's very important. They made sure we, got the right things for ourselves. Strong parents, I think, are very important, especially in our situation.
Michael Jackson never really had a normal life outside of performing. From a very young age, the stage became his world, and everything else seemed to fade into the background as music and performance took over.
Life when you weren't performing?
Well, not really.
No.
We've always performed.
Yeah.
Even when we were small kids.
Yeah.
My mother caught me making my bed one day, and I was singing.
And this is the story of how Michael Jackson signed to Motown at a young age. And while it looked like a dream on the surface, it came with a bittersweet reality as he watched other children play freely while he was already locked into work and performance.
When 11 and 12, I was under contract with Motown, and I would have to go to the recording studio. I had to go and make these albums because the summer tour was right around the corner, and right across the street from the recording studio was a ballpark, and I could hear the kids, the roar of the crowd, and playing and catching ball and having fun and playing tennis. And some of those times I so passionately wanted to just go over there and just play a little bit and not go to the recording studio and sing. Just to, have some fun with the kids. And I couldn't.
Michael Jackson often said he felt like an adult long before his time, carrying pressures most kids never face. Over the years, he was also unfairly mocked and labeled by people in ways that reflected how misunderstood he really was.
All the time when I was little, they used to call me a 45-year-old midget wherever I went. I used to always hear that, and I just would hear it, never thought about it. When you were little, when you started to sing, did you know you were that good? I never thought about it, I just did.
But on tour, backstage with all the musicians and the singers, and I felt grown up for all my life.
I remember.
He often reflected on the childhood he feels was taken from him, explaining how while other kids were outside playing and making memories, he was already living a life of rehearsals, performances, and responsibilities far beyond his years.
You don't miss then not ever having had what they call an average childhood. Like
No, not really.
no.
We get to do things kids do in the neighborhood.
It's heartbreaking to hear Michael Jackson describe it in his own words, talking about how much of his childhood he feels he missed while the world kept moving around him and he was locked into work, fame, and pressure from such a young age.
Well, you don't get to do things that other children get to do. You know, the simple things that they so much take for granted. Having friends and slumber parties and buddies and just hanging out. There was none of that for me. I didn't have any friends when I was little. My brothers.
When Michael Jackson was still a child, he was already performing in places that felt far beyond his age, sometimes even on the same circuits where adult entertainment venues like strip clubs operated right after his sets, showing just how strange and intense his early career environment really was.
Were my friends.
In bed sleeping night, I was up doing clubs. I was doing club dates, 3 a.m. The striptease would come on after us. You know, we were performing, and we didn't have friends. My brothers were like my friends, but we worked. There was no Christmas, there was no birthdays, and we were very strict Jehovah's Witnesses.
And in this clip, Michael Jackson explains how it was never just one show, but a constant cycle of concert after concert, with barely any pause in between as performance became his entire life from a very young age.
One concert to the next. If it wasn't concert, it was the recording studio. If it wasn't that, it was TV shows or interviews or picture sessions. It was always something to do.
What would you do if you had?
By the time he was 19, Michael Jackson had only taken one holiday, and even then he said he preferred staying at home, showing just how unusual his life was compared to most people his age, with comfort found more in privacy than in travel or freedom.
A vacation. I mean, a real vacation where you just get off and away from singing and anything that looked like work. What would you do?
What would I do? I really don't know.
You've never really done it.
In my life, I really had one vacation, and that was last Christmas. Outside of that, let me think what I did. I just stayed home. I watched television. I read.
Dad, I remember one.
In another interview, Michael Jackson was asked again about the beatings he says he received from his father and how those experiences affected him. His response was deeply personal, revealing how much those early years stayed with him long after the fame.
Time we were getting ready to go to South America, and everybody was packed up in the cars, ready to leave and go, and plane was about to, and I hid, and I was crying while I was hiding because I really did not want to go. I wanted to play. I did not want to go.
In another interview, Michael Jackson was asked again about the beatings he says he received from his father and how those experiences affected him. His response was deeply personal, revealing how much those early years stayed with him long after the fame.
He's going to get you still worried about that. Well, he feels that he was stripped.
I'm glad he said it. Now I'll say it, yes.
Did he ever beat you? Yes, he did. Yes.
And that was difficult to take, getting beaten and going on stage and performing.
Yes. My father used to always say, don't mess up, you know, and I felt I knew every part. And if something went wrong, I felt I could cover it.
In this clip, Michael Jackson explains the intense pressure he says he faced from his father, including how he would be pushed extremely hard before going on stage, all in the pursuit of a perfect performance.
Well, I didn't have it that hard because he used me as the example. It was like, do it like Michael. You know, and he practiced us with a belt in his hand. And if you miss a step, expect to be...
In this clip, Michael Jackson describes how overwhelming the pressure from his father could feel, saying it even made him physically sick with fear at times, and how just a single look from him was enough to put everything back in line instantly.
He'd look in the audience, he'd make a face like this. You'd go, oh, I can't mess up, he's going to kill us. It would just scare the bejesus out of him. And he'd be like, everybody's clapping, he'd like looking at you hard, like, don't you mess up, you know, and I'm like, oh, God. I'm in trouble after the show.
And he would tear you up if you missed.
Their father was also their strict manager, and Michael has described how intense those rehearsals could be, with discipline taken to an extreme level and pressure always hanging over every performance they prepared for.
And so we, not only were we practicing, we were nervous rehearsing because he sat in the chair and he had this bell in his hand. And if you didn't do it the right way, he would tear you up, really get you. And I got it a lot of times, but I think my brother Marlon got it the most because he had a hard time at first. And he tried so hard. And it was always, do it like Michael, do it like Michael, you know, but the others were very nervous, and I was nervous too, you know, because he was tough.
He wanted me to, I guess maybe, I don't know if I was his golden child or whatever it was. Some may call it a strict disciplinarian or whatever, but he was very strict, very hard, you know, very stern. And just a look would scare you, you know, and...
Were you scared of him?
Very.
In this clip, Michael Jackson describes how overwhelming the pressure from his father could feel, saying it even made him physically sick with fear at times, and how just a single look from him was enough to put everything back in line instantly.
Frightened. There's been times when he'd come to see me and I would get sick. You know, I'd start to regurgitate.
As a child or as an adult?
Both.
I don't think he realizes to this day how scared. I mean, scared. So scared that I would regurgitate.
You would vomit?
Mm-hmm.
When would you vomit? Well, what would produce that sort of reaction in you?
His presence. Just seeing him. And sometimes I'd faint, and my bodyguards would have to hold me up.
In this clip, Michael Jackson explains that the presence of his father alone could be so overwhelming that at times he would even faint, showing just how intense and heavy those early experiences were for him growing up.
Today, I'm scared of my father to this day. My father walked in the room, and God knows I'm telling you the truth, I've fainted in his presence many times. I'll say once, to be honest. I fainted once. I've thrown up in his presence because just when he comes in the room, he just aura comes and my stomach starts hurting. I know, like, I'm in trouble. And now he's so different now. He wants to be a better father. I just wish he had learned that earlier. Why are you so scared of him? Because the scar is still there. So I'm like an angel in front of him, not scared. One day he said, why are you scared of me? And I couldn't answer. I felt like, Joseph, do you know what you've done?
In this clip, the interviewer presses Michael about the extent of the beatings he says he experienced from his father, leading to a tense and deeply emotional moment as he responds to something clearly very personal.
How often would he beat you?
Too much.
Would he only use a belt?
Why do you do this to me? No, more than a belt.
What else would he use to hit you with?
Ironing cords. Whatever's around. Throw you up against the wall hard as he could.
He was rough. The way he would beat you was, you know, was hard. And we pick we make you strip nude first. He would oil you down. Your whole ritual. He would oil you down. So when the flip of the ironing cord hit you, it would just, you know, and it was just like me dying. And you just flipped all over your face, your back, everywhere. And I always hear my mother, but no, Joe, you're gonna kill him. You're gonna kill him. No. I would just give up. There was nothing I can do. You know? And I hated him for it.
He would lose his temper.
Michael Jackson has spoken about how strict and hot-tempered his father could be, and how his mother would sometimes step in during difficult moments, worried things could escalate too far and urging him to stop.
I just remember hearing my mother scream, Joe, you're gonna kill him, you're gonna kill him, stop it, you're gonna kill him, you know, and I was so fast, you know, he couldn't catch me half the time, but When he would catch me, oh my God, it was bad.
He hit me, I would.
Michael has also described how intense things could get around business decisions, saying his father would become extremely angry when he refused or pushed back on certain contracts, adding even more pressure to an already demanding environment.
Boom, door slam, everybody runs to their room. Like there's sometimes I'd be in bed at night sleeping. It's 12 at night. The door's locked. I'm giving you 5 seconds. You know, open, I'm going to kick it down. And you start kicking it. Boom, kick it, like breaking the door down. Why didn't you sign that contract today? I go, I don't know. He goes, well, sign it. If you don't sign it, you're in trouble. So you would sign? I had to. He was very physical. He'd throw you and hit you hard as he can.
Did you begin to feel that you were like a money-making machine for him?
Yeah. I'll never forget one day he said, you guys ever stop singing, I'll drop you like a hot potato. That's what he said. It hurt me. You don't say that to children. And I never forgot it.
When he was
In this clip, Michael Jackson opens up about the deep anger he felt toward his father because of the beatings he says he experienced growing up, and he explains that this pain is also part of why he made a conscious decision to never raise his own children in the same way.
beating you, did you hate him?
Yeah. Strong hate. That's why to this day I don't lay a finger on my children. I don't want them to ever feel that way about me. Ever. And he didn't allow us to call him Daddy. And I wanted to call him Daddy so bad. He said, I'm not Daddy, I'm Joseph to you, you know?
I never felt love from him. And he would never hold me or touch me. We used to say to our mother, we'd say to each other, and I'll never forget this, Janet and myself, I'll say, Janet, shut your eyes. She'd go, okay, let's shut. I said, picture Joseph in a coffin, he's dead. Did you feel sorry? She would go, no. That's what we would do to each other as kids. We'd like play games like that. She'd go, nope. It's like that. That's how hateful we were.
Michael Jackson also spoke with a complicated kind of respect about his father, calling him a genius in his own way, and suggesting that without that strict drive and pressure, he may never have reached the level of success he achieved today.
I don't think how much he hurt me with love, but he's a genius. The man is a genius. At the same time, he is a genius. He really is.
But Michael, he injured you when you were a child.
Yeah, but look what came out of it.
Well,
maybe I wouldn't have the affection for the kids that I have today and wanted to help them.
Michael Jackson has also said that with his own children, he insists they call him Dad instead of Michael, explaining that he wants them to have the warmth and connection he felt he was missing growing up, where even simple moments like that were taken away from him.
I totally forgive him for all of it, you know. You have to. But I don't allow my children to call me Michael. I say I'm Daddy. It's just the opposite. So when people say the abuse, that's not true. That's not true at all.